It's the early way, yeah. It's the early way, yeah, yeah. It's the early way, yeah. It's the early way, yeah, yeah. It's the early way, it's the early way, yeah, 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 yeah. It's the early.
What's up, y'all? I'm Early Earl. I thank y'all for hearing these YouTube streets and coming on down here to the early way. I'm coming at y'all with another review, and this is for Nowthatstv Playboys. And this season, they over there in New Orleans, and this is episode 2, Suit Up. And y'all, for this show to be in one location inside a warehouse building, this shit is all over the place, but we're gonna try to keep it in place while we review this shit. Let's get it, y'all. Tune in with me. So the show opens up with Ruby and Yari. They thumping. I mean, they fighting. They wrap up with each other. Ruby gets free, and he gets to swinging. A bop, 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 bop. Yari ends up hitting the floor. Ruby gets on top and starts beating Yari on top of the head. Security really let them go at it for a good little minute before coming in and breaking up the fight. Ruby say, leave him alone. Please, leave him alone. Yari tells him, no, nigga, you stole my cologne. Ruby say he can buy 1,000 bottles of cologne. Why would he be stealing? Then he let us know that when he stayed with Yari, he cleaned up his nasty, dirty-ass bathroom. Then they started fighting again. They go at it. This time, Ruby flipped Yari on his ass, set his ass on the ground, and started playing pity-pat on his head. And I don't know what Yari was doing. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't swinging. He was just grabbing at Ruby. It didn't seem like he wanted to fight. He didn't really want to fight. So I don't even know why he fought, to be honest. In his confessional, Yari says Ruby tossed his ass like a pack of ramen noodles. He got turned every which way but loose. But at least he got out there to fight. And I'm like, I see they don't mind being embarrassed on TV as long as they on TV. And that's crazy to me. Ruby in his confessional says that he didn't really want to fight Yari, but he did what he had to do. So after all that, Yari goes to see the on-site medic. He got to get medical treatment. Ruby done slammed this man on his ass and head a couple of times that they had to make sure he didn't have a concussion. And I'm like, y'all really on this bitch fighting. I mean, fighting to the point where y'all damn near getting concussions. Y'all getting y'all nose broke, and we're going to get there when we get there. Y'all getting black eyes. Y'all getting busted lips just to be seen on Nowthatstv. I mean, if you knew better, you'll do better. Once he was checked out and cleared, Yari goes outside to talk with Ruby, about stealing his cologne. Yari really feels like Ruby stole from him. Ruby tells him that his apartment was so dirty, maybe he misplaced his cologne and couldn't find it amongst the mess. That's what he told Yari. He said, your apartment's so dirty, maybe you misplaced that shit in the mix with all that trash you got everywhere. Ruby said he cleaned that entire apartment up when he was there and didn't see nor did he steal any cologne. And I feel like, Ruby, you did take that man cologne. Just admit it. You did take that man's stuff, and that's just it. Yari says that Ruby was the only person that's been in his apartment, so who else could have stolen it? Ruby say, don't play with him like that. He don't steal. They eventually hug it out and squash their beef. But while they're discussing that, Solid comes out running outside to fight Ruby. Security snatched him up right before he could do anything, though. Security ends up taking Ruby back inside, all the while Solid was still trying to run up on him. Once they get that all settled, we get introduced to a couple more Playboys. We get Mari. He's 25 from Detroit, but he lives in Atlanta. He let us know that he's a jack of all trades. He does it all. He has his own hookah business. He dances, he acts, he's a model, and a celebrity assistant. Then we get Jay Stats, and all we get from him is that he's from the big west side of Detroit. Up next is Kai, and he's 21 from Brooklyn, New York. He says that he's a Playboy because he stands on business. He do what he want to do. After that, we get introduced to Alex. And Alex, aka Bees if you're nasty, he say he from New Jersey. And last we get introduced to Landon. Landon says he's here by popular demand. He's a Playboy because he's a hustler. He does hair, he do makeup, and he's just that Nigga. After that, the Playboys get suited up in their black suits for the promo shoot. They cheers to season 2 of Playboys, then they all head outside. Then the producer messy asses, they decide to play a game, and the game was to pass your shot to your least favorite Playboy that you would like to go home. And they also let us know that there would be no fighting. So y'all can be messy, but don't start no shit. Okay, I guess. Alvin was the first person to be chosen to head home. He steps up. He has a megaphone bullhorn that he's using to talk through, just loud and extra. And on top of that, he's drunk. So, you know, that just extends the loud and extraness. He say everybody hate him. In the midst of that, we get Solid still trying to fight Ruby. And I'm like, Solid, just chill. It ain't that serious, dog. Just chill. Ruby say he already fought 3 times. He ain't fighting no more. Wait till they get to the house, then they can run it. They try to have a conversation to get to the root of their problems, but since Ruby wasn't looking Solid directly in his eyes, Solid decided not to carry on with the conversation. Solid says that he don't respect Ruby because of that. And Ruby let us know that he been in jail, so he don't look people in the eyes. And I'm like, is that a thing, y'all? I never been to jail, nor do I plan on going. But is that a thing where you don't make eye contact with a person? Is that a problem in jail? Because according to Ruby, it is a problem. Solid then starts taunting Ruby, talking about the side of his neck, making gestures on how he wanted to do Ruby, basically demonstrating what he wanted to do to Ruby. Ruby says that he ready to go home. At this point, he over the BS. He said he's too grown to be arguing back and forth, and he don't even know why Solid want to fight him. And I'm with Ruby. I don't have time for this childish shit, especially when I don't even know why you beefing with me. You want to fight me for a reason I don't even know why, so you the one got the problem. I don't. And to me, it just looked like Solid just wanted something to do. He just seemed like he had a point to prove. It's like he told a couple of them that when he see Ruby, he gonna beat Ruby ass. And now he got to stand on it. He really got to do it. He want to be seen and heard so bad. And I'm like, sit your ass down. Ruby say, wait till y'all get to the house. I promise you it ain't that serious. You can wait. You can wait. And y'all, after all that, we try to get back to the game. Almond steps up with his bullhorn and he started talking. In his confessional, he tell us that he was tipsy because of his anxiety. He say being around a bunch of flamboyant gays on TV, you're gonna want to drink. You might need a couple of shots here and there just to, ease off a little bit. Off to the side, you hear Kai, and he talking about Almond. He said he tired of Almond, and he basically wasn't feeling Almond because he was a drunk mess. And I'm like, that's proving Almond right. Why is he bothering you, Kai? Kai just wanted a moment too, because Almond wasn't really doing nothing. Kai steps up to Almond and swings at him, and at the same time, Almond swung at him with the bullhorn and popped him with it. Pop! Hit him with that bullhorn, and they started fighting. And I'm with Almond. Shit, you come up to me ready to fight, and I got something in my hand. You get hit with what's ever in my hand. I'm gonna hit you with it. Whop, a whop, bam, a do bop, a whap, bam, boom. I'm gonna hit your ass. So they get to fight. In his confessional, Almond say he was just being a bad bitch on the speakerphone, and a sissy had a problem. And I was like, yep, that's exactly how it went. They head inside the building and go at it again. It was a good little squabble. Almond stands over Kai a few feet, yet Kai was hanging in there with him. They was going blow for blow, but Kai ends up breaking Almond's nose. Almond says that he has rhinoplasty. He got his nose done for $20,000. It's new, so of course it's going to break. And I'm like, you really fighting with a new nose? A $20,000 nose is that. You really getting out here on Nowthatstv fighting and breaking your nose? I promise you, you don't have to do that. You know you don't got to do that, right? You know you don't have to do that. Y'all gays are crazy. Almond ends up popping his nose back in place. And I like Almond. Don't get me wrong, I like Almond. He popped that nose right back in place and carried on like it was nothing. And I'm like, this a fool right here. And y'all, one of the security was like, hey, yelling at Almond to like get his attention or stop him from doing something. And Almond was like, you don't have to scream at me like that. You can say hey in the most cutest ways. And I'm like, well, okay then. Well, okay then. You can say hey in the most cutest ways. Then we get introduced to another Playboy by the name of D. Scott, and he's 22 from New Orleans. He's a model, and he's been modeling since 7th grade. D. Scott came in this bitch hot. He came in and shut this shit right up. He said, let's get his show started, and he starts arguing with Kobe. I mean, they going back and forth, yelling, pointing their fingers in each other's face, talking shit. D. Scott let us know that he and Kobe had dealings with each other back in high school, and Kobe had painted him. Kobe said, why he bringing that up? He was young, and he didn't know anything about cooking and cleaning his... He didn't know nothing about cleaning out. And I'm like, D. Scott, I don't even know why you brought that up either. That was way back in high school. Y'all, 22 years old? So I'm going to say y'all in high school, 17, 18 years old? Even though that was a couple years back, you didn't have to bring that up. You didn't. Trey walks up on D. Scott like he want to fight, I guess taking up for Kobe. It didn't really make any sense why he ran up on D. Scott, but he did. And I'm like, Trey, sit your ass down. Play the backfield like you've been playing it. Your time will come. This wasn't your time right now. Things got too heated and security takes D. Scott to another room. BB walks in a room and D. Scott asks him why he's so quiet. He checks BB for saying the N-word, only to realize later he mistook BB for somebody else who was at the audition saying the N-word. So it was a mistaken identity. BB points at D. Scott and tells him, don't try to make him look like a racist on national television. And I'm like, is this national television or is this Nowthatstv? Anyway, D. Scott tells him to watch his hands. He's standing up and reach around security, slapping BB in the face. BB pushes through security and hits D. Scott, and they go with it, blow for blow. Bam, bam, bam. They fighting. They fighting in a little conference room, though. Security breaks them up and takes them to a more open space inside the building. So they leave that conference room and go to a space where they can really get down. So once they get to that space, they go at it. And D. Scott worked BB ass. I mean, he whooped this ass. BB tried, but he failed. He got his ass whooped. Security ends up breaking him up. BB said he was drunk and he tripped. That's why he lost. He know he got his ass whooped. He said he was drunk. He upset his suit and jacket ripped more than anything. He said that's $1,000 gone. And I'm like, well, better luck next time. Trey comes out of nowhere and runs up on D. Scott. He tackles him to the ground and get a few licks in before security comes and breaks it up. Kobe and D. Scott then get into a little scuffle too before security comes and breaks them up. And I'm like, damn. D. Scott came in hot and they tried to cool my boy down. He ran 3 fades back to back. They wasn't letting up on him. He couldn't catch his breath. He couldn't catch his breath good before somebody else ran up on him. So after that, things cooled down a little bit. D. Scott tells Trey that, he did that. You did your bit one. D. Scott say he ain't no pussy ass nigga. He can get props when they do. They go to dap each other up. Trey tells D. Scott, yeah, you got the wrong nigga. And when he said that, D. Scott hit his ass. That was the wrong thing to say. D. Scott popped him. Pop. D. Scott say, no nigga is the wrong nigga. Win, lose, or draw, they gonna get it in. He stand on business. And I fuck with D. Scott. I would have did the same thing. No, you not the wrong nigga. You the right nigga. And I'm gonna let you know why. Pop. Hit his ass. Shut that shit up. From them, we switch over to Ruby. Ruby is packing his things up. He say he do what he want to do. He don't do what they tell him to do. He say, who the hell still fights in 2024? And I say the bitches and niggas on Nowthatstv do. Them bitches and niggas on Nowthatstv do. They fight in 2024 and they gonna fight in 2025 and 2026. So after that, we see Ruby load his shit up in a car and he leaves. And that's the end of Ruby on Playboys. And y'all, that was the end of the episode. The episode, the episode, Playboys is crazy. It's a mess. I still look at this show. My face be all screwed up watching them fight for no reason. Shit, at least to me, they fight for no reason. And that's all I got to say. I thank y'all for tuning in to The Early Way. And if you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to catch y'all next time. Peace.